Listen up, because the Minnesota Vikings are standing at the edge of a cliff, and the ground is starting to crumble beneath our feet. We are talking about a franchise-altering storm brewing in the Twin Cities that threatens to tear the blueprint of this team into shreds. We have franchise legends screaming from the rooftops, the quarterback situation spiraling into absolute chaos, and now the unthinkable. Whispers about the best player on the planet potentially being on the move. This isn't just an off-season update. This is a battle for the soul of our team. You need to hear exactly what is happening behind closed doors right now before it is too late. We begin with a story that is shaking the very foundation of the franchise, and quite frankly, it is about time someone said it. A bona fide Vikings legend, an idol who understands the DNA of this organization better than anyone, has come out and absolutely torched the idea of bringing back a veteran quarterback. While the front office is playing nice and running the numbers, this icon is looking at the reality of the situation and calling it what it is, a mistake. The criticism is sharp, it is direct, and it is echoing through the halls of the facility in Eagan. The insider details here suggest that this isn't just a random comment. This is a reflection of a growing sentiment among the alumni and the knowledgeable fan base that the Vikings are stuck in a cycle of mediocrity. The specific critique targets the philosophy of running it back with a veteran presence that offers a high floor but a limited ceiling. We are talking about a refusal to accept the status quo. Now, let me put my insider hat aside for a second and speak to you as someone who watches this game with intensity. This legend is absolutely right. How many times do we have to watch the same movie and expect a different ending? That is the definition of insanity. To bring back a veteran quarterback, to retread the same tires, is an insult to the ambition of this city. We are not here to be competitive, we are here to win championships. When a legend of this magnitude speaks out, it puts massive pressure on the general manager and the head coach. It draws a line in the sand. It tells the front office that the safe choice is actually the dangerous choice because it risks alienating the people who built this franchise. The emotional weight of this criticism cannot be overstated. It is a rallying cry against complacency. It is a demand for excellence. Sources tell me that this public criticism has caused quite a stir internally. The executives know that they are under the microscope. They know that if they sign a veteran stopgap or bring back a familiar face and it fails, they will have ignored the warnings of royalty. This is about culture. Are the Minnesota Vikings a team that settles for good enough, or are we a team that dares to be great? This legend is telling us that looking backwards is a recipe for disaster. We need innovation, we need youth, we need a spark, not a safety blanket. The tension is palpable because this critique validates every fan who is tired of watching other teams take risks while we play it safe. It is a scathing indictment of the current strategy, and it sets the stage for a massive conflict regarding the most important position on the field. The front office is now on notice. The past is the past, and trying to relive it is going to cost you the support of the faithful. If you want to stay ahead of the curve and get the raw, unfiltered truth about the Vikings that the mainstream media is too afraid to tell you, you need to hit that subscribe button right now. Do not miss a single update. This leads us directly into the eye of the storm, the Kirk Cousins situation. My sources are telling me that the conversations between the Vikings front office and Cousins camp have reached a critical, perhaps even decisive, impasse. We are not just talking about a contract extension. We are talking about the structural future of the salary cap for the next 3 to 4 years. The latest intel suggests that while the Vikings value Kirk, they are terrified of the guaranteed money he is commanding on the open market. The structure of the deal is the sticking point. Cousins holds significant leverage because of the quarterback desert that exists in the NFL, and he knows it. He is looking for security, he is looking for years, and he is looking for a number that starts with a 4 or a 5. But let's look at this with some fire. Are you kidding me? We are being held hostage by a statistical resume that disappears when the lights are brightest. I respect Kirk Cousins the man, and I respect his accuracy, but we are talking about winning in January. The update here is that the Vikings are trying to find a middle ground that simply does not exist. You either pay the man elite money or you let him walk. There is no discount for the Minnesota Vikings. And why should there be? This is a business. However, the frustration here is palpable. The tactical analysis shows that if you pay Kirk, you cripple your ability to build a defense. You cripple your ability to sign depth.
You are betting everything on a quarterback who has given you stability but has not given you glory. My sources indicate that the team is actively exploring contingency plans, which tells me they are not sold on bringing him back at his price point. This is a game of high-stakes poker. Kirk's agent is one of the best in the business, and he is not blinking. The Vikings are trying to maintain flexibility, but flexibility doesn't win Super Bowls. Talent does. The indecision is agonizing. Every day this drags on, the tension rises. The fans are split down the middle. Half of you want the safety of 4,000 yards and 30 touchdowns. The other half are ready to burn it down for a chance at a rookie who can actually move the needle in the playoffs. This insider update confirms that the Vikings are hesitant. They are blinking. And in the NFL, if you blink, you get crushed. The clock is ticking. The legal tampering period is approaching. And right now, the Vikings do not have their answer at quarterback. That uncertainty is a poison that seeps into every other decision they have to make. It affects free agency, it affects the draft, and as we are about to discuss, it affects the happiness of the greatest asset this franchise possesses. We are walking a tightrope without a net, and the wind is picking up.
And now, because the football gods clearly want to test our blood pressure, we have arrived at the nightmare scenario. Reports are surfacing, and whispers are turning into shouts, linking our crown jewel, Justin Jefferson, to the New England Patriots. You heard me correctly, the New England Patriots. There are rumors circulating that with the Patriots sitting on a mountain of salary cap space and desperate for a playmaker, they are monitoring the situation in Minnesota with predatory intent. This is not a drill. This is the direct domino effect of the quarterback uncertainty we just discussed. When you don't have a plan at quarterback, your superstar receiver starts looking at the door. Let me be crisp. In a truck. If they let this situation fester, if they let Justin Jefferson believe for 1 second that he is not the priority, they will lose him. And if they lose him, they lose the fan base. It is that simple. The stakes have never been higher.
This is without a shadow of a doubt the most critical juncture in the recent history of the Minnesota Vikings. We are staring at a crossroads that will define the next decade of this franchise, and the margin for error is absolutely zero. The management is playing with fire regarding the quarterback position, and now the smoke is drifting toward our superstar receiver. We cannot afford to be passive. We cannot afford to make the safe, cowardly choice. I need to hear from every single one of you right now. Do we blow it all up and start fresh, or do we pay whatever it costs to keep the band together? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, because this is our team, and right now, the front office needs to hear our voice loud and clear.